Hi, my name is Amelia. I live with my twin sister Isla. We both look alike, but our lives are poles apart. Isla has always been a confident girl, but I get so nervous in unfamiliar situations that I end up stuttering. Once, I participated in a school play, but the moment I went on stage, I forgot my dialogues and got super anxious. All the world stage? The audience started laughing at me, but just in time, Isla gestured to me to come backstage and immediately took my place.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. One man in his time plays many parts.
The audience clapped for Isla, but I got the prize for the best actor. Nobody found out the truth. Since that day, my sister has been there whenever I needed a cover-up, because I was never bold enough for anything. Isla happily helped me out, but at the same time, she pushed me to face my issues too.
How will you hide your stutter when you get a boyfriend?
For that, I've the perfect plan. I'll make an online boyfriend, someone who doesn't live in the same city so we won't have to meet. We'll keep texting forever. Isla laughed at my plan, but I was sure it would work. Soon, when I was in high school, I joined a dating website and started looking for a guy who was okay with being in a long-distance relationship. Luckily, I met Theo, and we instantly clicked. He was an art lover like me, and we spent hours chatting with each other about Picasso and Van Gogh. Also, Theo lived 2,000 miles away from me, so there was little to zero possibility of him coming to see me. I was enjoying my time with him, and we were really getting closer, but suddenly one night, he sent me a voice note and dropped a bomb on me.
Guess what, Amelia? My dad got a transfer, and we're moving to your city. Now, it's only a matter of 1 week, and we'll be talking face to face.
Oh no! I faked the same excitement as him, but in reality my heart was sinking. He had already made plans for our first date, so the day he landed in my city, he straight away asked me out in his voice note. I didn't know how to react. I wasn't prepared for a real boyfriend, but I also didn't want to lose what I had with Theo. I was in a serious dilemma. There was only one person who could get me out of this situation, and she was Isla. Hey, remember my boyfriend plan? Sadly, that has failed, and now I need your help. I know you've done enough for me, but could you please go and meet a guy on my behalf?
Have you gone crazy? You're crossing all limits, Amelia.
Please, Isla. This is my one and only chance at love. You just go and meet him once. After that, I'll tell him that we're moving to a different country. I won't bother you after this, I swear. I begged and cried so much that Isla eventually agreed to go and meet Theo. However, there was a big problem. They were supposed to meet at an art exhibition, and Isla didn't even know who Michelangelo was. I had to fill her up on the basics of the art world so that Theo wouldn't doubt her. The day of the exhibition arrived. I went along with her until the entrance and then hid behind a mask. As Isla met Theo and they got talking, I kept an eye on them from a distance. I could see Theo passionately discussing the art demonstrations, while Isla cluelessly looked at me every time he asked her some question. I was constantly guiding her through texts over the phone, and Theo had no idea. The date went well, but as Isla and I came back home that night, she seemed unusually quiet. I thought maybe she was annoyed because I wasted her entire day on my silly date, but the next morning as she woke up, she was cheerfully getting ready in front of the mirror wearing her most gorgeous dress. I looked at her. I was confused. Where are you going, Isla? Have you got yourself another date today?
Yeah, second date with Theo. I think I liked him too last night.
What? Are you out of your mind? Theo is my boyfriend.
But he never met you. He met me, and I fell for him the moment he laid his eyes on me. He was showing me a painting, and his hand accidentally touched mine. I'm sorry, but it felt amazing.
I couldn't believe my own sister would betray me like this. I just asked her to go out on one date with my boyfriend, and now she wants to steal him? I lost my temper. I pulled her sleeves off and grabbed her hair. We got into a real big fight for the first time. After the fight, I thought she'd back off, but no.
You're done? Well, I have to change my dress and makeup all over again. Theo must be waiting, you moron. You're the worst.
What in the world? Was she really that much into Theo? Should I sacrifice my love for my sister, or should I fight for him? I had two options. I could just text Theo and tell him the whole truth about Isla and me, or I could forget him and let Isla be with him forever. I thought about it a lot, then chose the latter option. I decided not to come between Isla and Theo and let them have their perfect love story. Maybe they were made for each other, and I was merely a means to connect them. Also, Isla had done so much for me that I would have sacrificed anything for her happiness. I felt bad that I behaved with her so inappropriately in the morning. I wanted to apologize, so I walked into her room that night, but she was not there. I got worried and looked for her all around the house, but she was nowhere. Then suddenly, I heard a strange noise from the terrace and went up. I couldn't trust my eyes as I saw the most shocking visual on the stairs. Isla was making out with a gorgeous guy and telling him,
I love you, Henry. I've never loved anyone as much as I love you. It feels amazing when you touch me.
What the hell? She said the same thing about Theo's touch too. How could she be in love with two guys at the same time? I couldn't control myself and exploded. You witch! You already have a boyfriend but are trying to steal mine? Does Henry know about Theo or should I tell him?
What is she talking about? Who is Theo? Are you two-timing me, Isla?
Not really. I just recently met this guy and I really like him. I wanted to tell you about him, but I'm glad Amelia did. I'm gonna see this guy, and if you're not okay with it, we can break up right away. You decide.
Henry and I were both stunned to see how easily Isla was ready to leave her old boyfriend for a new one. Henry was heartbroken, so he said goodbye to Isla and walked away. There was still no regret or guilt on Isla's face. She looked at me and said,
Now nothing can come between me and Theo. Not even you.
I could see that Isla was getting obsessed with Theo. She wanted to get him at any cost, but that is not what true love is. She was just attracted to his personality and didn't even know the true person behind it. She had only 2 dates with him and assumed she was in love, while I, on the other hand, was talking to him for months. If anyone deserved to be with Theo, it was me. We had a real connection, and I couldn't let Isla ruin it for us. Until I could gather the courage and openly tell Theo about my stutter, I had to stop Isla from meeting him. As soon as they planned their 3rd date, I secretly followed them. As I overheard them, Theo asked something out of the blue which not only surprised me, but Isla too.
Hey, what are you doing Thanksgiving? I was wondering if you could join me at our family dinner. I would love to introduce you to my mom and dad.
That would be awesome. I'm so happy you asked, but don't you think it's too early for me to meet your parents?
Not at all, sweetheart. We've been chatting online for such a long time. It feels like I've known you for ages. It's high time we take our relationship a step ahead.
Isla blushed and eventually said yes to Theo. My heart sank as it felt like the final nail in the coffin. If Theo's parents ended up liking Isla, everything was lost for me. I couldn't bear the thought. Hence, I vowed right then and there that no matter what happens, I would not let Isla go to that Thanksgiving dinner. I came up with a foolproof plan and sent an online text to Theo the night before Thanksgiving. I'm so sorry, but I won't be able to make it to dinner tomorrow. We're going to Granny's house for Thanksgiving. I know it's last minute, but we can meet your parents some other time. I thought Theo would feel bad and send a sad smiley in response, but he immediately called up Isla.
Hey, I was thinking maybe we can plan a Thanksgiving lunch instead of dinner. What do you say?
Cool. Whatever works for you. I'm so excited to meet your parents.
Within a few hours, Isla was going for lunch with my boyfriend's family and I was going crazy. It was a do or die situation for me, and I did the most unexpected and wildest thing. The moment Isla was about to step out, I screamed out loud from the car garage. Help! Somebody help me, please! My hand is stuck here. I can't get it out. Isla, can you hear me?
What happened? What were you doing under the car? Come on, give your hand to me. I'm getting late for lunch. Let me get you out quickly.
As Isla extended her hand towards me, I pulled her under the car and swiftly got myself out. Now Isla was stuck there and I was standing up. I also snatched her phone and threw it away. Before she could understand anything, I ran away, pulled the shutter down, and locked her in the garage. She kept crying, but I didn't care and instantly messaged Theo. Hey, I'll be a little late to lunch because I went to see a doctor. I've got a throat infection and the doctor has advised me not to speak at all for a day. I guess we'll have to talk in sign language today. To make it less awkward, I also sent a laughing emoji. Theo replied back with a smiley that he was eagerly waiting for me. I also couldn't wait to see him. After all, it was my first real-life date ever. I wore the best dress in my wardrobe and finally reached Theo's place. My feet were shaking and my heart was racing as he opened the door.
You're looking beautiful. Happy Thanksgiving.
I reacted with a smile, and he gave me a warm hug. His parents also greeted me nicely, and finally we all sat down for lunch. They understood that I won't be speaking at all because of my bad throat, so they used gestures to ask me for how the food was and if I needed anything more on my plate. The lunch was going fine, but then suddenly, someone barged into the house and ruined the whole scene. That party pooper was no one else but Isla. I wondered how she managed to escape from the garage, but I realized there was no point because the cat was already out of the bag. More than me, Theo and his parents were shocked beyond belief because they didn't even have the slightest clue that I had an identical twin sister.
Can somebody explain to me what's going on here? Who is this girl and why does she look exactly like you, Amelia? I get it that you've a bad throat, but I need you to speak up now.
What bad throat? She is lying, Amelia. Would you bother to tell the truth, or should I expose you?
I ultimately got trapped in my own circle of lies, and now I had only one option. Tears rolled down my eyes as I gestured to Theo to give me a paper and pen. He obliged, and I finally wrote down my confession. He read it aloud, in front of everyone.
I love you, Theo, but I don't deserve you. I've always been a loser. For everything, I used my sister as a cover-up just because I stutter. I didn't even have the confidence to meet you, so I sent her, but then she fell in love with you. I got jealous and tried to separate the two of you, but I think you both are perfect together. I am the odd one out here, so I'll just move away. Sorry I kept you in the dark.
Theo went silent after this. I had lost all hope, so I was about to turn back and leave, but he suddenly held my hand.
Amelia, I was not in the dark. I knew your truth from day one. When Isla met me in the art gallery, she told me everything. We both wanted you to accept your problem openly, but since you were so scared, we had to make this plan. I'm so glad you finally came out.
We are so proud of you. Also, for your information, my boyfriend Henry was also a part of our plan. We never really broke up. He is the one who got me out of the garage also.
Theo and Isla laughed and hugged me. His parents also joined in the hug, and I felt like the luckiest girl in the world for having the most amazing sister and most supportive boyfriend in my life. As both of them gave me courage, I finally addressed my problem and started going for speech therapy. I was no longer ashamed of my stutter and was trying to deal with it confidently. Within a few months, I transformed into a new girl who was now able to recite that Shakespeare play fluently on the college stage. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. One man in his time plays many parts.